Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, Qadash. I want to give double honors to our Apostle Nellis Great Millstone, who teach very well. But we're going to get from citation like that to the hope for elect, continue to preach this word in our true faith and sincerity, man. And here we are again, the prophesy against this wicked kingdom of America. And just like the elder was talking about earlier, niggas are too occupied in other things instead of being occupied in prophecy. Prophet Sham running to get in Ezekiel, not Ezekiel, Salaki, but it's Sirach. Yeah, Sirach, the 39th chapter, man, because prophecy is jumping off the page now. You know, earlier this week, your brother's been looking at the news. Putin said it's not no more mean with Trump anymore, man. It's got to the point with the tension between Ukraine and Russia. The tension is too high to be resolved now, man. Ultimately, that's going to lead into more and more wars, which is a part of what the prophecy that the Lord have set up. You know, which our brothers got.
On the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiastes 39:1, but he that giveth his mind to the Lord Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof.
Yeah, it says he that keepeth his mind to the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof, because ultimately these people give their mind into this world, man. Give their mind to adultery, women, money, cars, clothes, and hoes, basically an unfruitful spirit. And then ultimately when a nigga end up dying, now y'all want to be sad. Which ultimately, that's the fruit that you produced from the beginning. You got it, bro.
None. It says, we'll seek out the wisdom of all the ancients and be occupied in prophecy.
Yeah, it will be occupied in prophecy. So this is the main thing that we're talking about, man. The prophecies of the Lord. Now let's see what's a part of the prophecies what's a part of the prophecies of Yahawah Sham. The Lord cutting this place off. And we can slowly but surely see it by the way of these people cutting off EPT and SNAP, man. That's a part of the Lord making his words faithful and true. Bible Bashar, brother, can get Isaiah the 3rd chapter. If anybody got something, come get it to me. You got it?
Yes. Isaiah 3 and verse 1. And behold, the Lord Yahawah Sham host, never take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the state and the staff, the whole stale bread and the whole stale water.
So the Lord said he's going to take away the state and the staff away from Israel. Now when you go into that staff, that's something that can hold you up, man. Or something that's a comfort, because it's a such thing called comfort food. But guess what? All these different type of luxuries that you was born to accept here in the West is going to soon be taken away, man. And it's going to be two decisions that's going to happen once those luxuries be taken away. Either you're going to trust in Yahawah Sham, or you're going to trust in your own self and your own damn mind, man. Because ultimately the Lord is really trying to fuck these niggas up, especially the niggas that don't want to hearken into prophecy, man. Because Israel as a whole is out of order, because ultimately they don't want to come under the rulership of the prophets. Niggas want to do their own thing. That's the reason why it's a 150th Manchester City Classic. That's the reason why it's a 56th Super Bowl. Because ultimately these people don't want to come under the subjection of righteousness, man. And the only solution is that is fire, you know, and the flood of fire, for lack of better words, to let these niggas get out of here, man. The child brothers got it.
I got some.
You got it. Break it.
Ezekiel 4 verse 16. Moreover, he says to me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they should eat bread by weight and with care. This is pretty much going in the ration. And you're starting to see people line up at food banks, all right? You got long lines now to get a piece of bread, man. They take that you can get on like 1 or 2 items. That's ration right there, all right? Verse 16. Moreover, he says to me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem.
Ezekiel 4. Yeah, because it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Hey.
I had 16.
That's beautiful, man.
But that goes into what they've been threatening on TikTok. You know, Jake been proud. You know, these nigga women, Jake always be sensitive man. Jake men, and these nigga women, they go what? They go tell the secret to the South. If you was gonna go try to hit Walmart, you gonna go try to hit these particular areas or whatever that you frequent to go eat or whatever. Keep it to yourself, man. But nah, you want to go take it to the world and let the world know. You want to go ahead and let the enemy know what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like what did Walmart tell you? Like, hey, man, if it come down to it, what? Y'all will order from the parking lot. You will order from the Walmart app. And what? You got to pay. It's a certain amount. It's a limit. So you got a $35 limit that you got to order every time. If it's under $35, you
got to pay a surcharge.
Yeah.
You got to pay a tax to it.
Even like when they got their Walmart people, it's attached to that.
So it ain't gonna be no you ordering, you going inside these buildings. You gonna stand outside and you gonna have to stand outside for your orders. It ain't gonna be no they deliver to your house. Why? Because Jacob robbing like they just make peace.
Hey, but there's the spirit, because it's gonna get to a point, because even niggas on social media, they been playing about it, but you remember, everybody remember Don't Be a Menace to Society. In the scene, he said, I want y'all to grab everything and run. Hey, that's gonna be a reality, man. People who don't have this EBT and these different type of government benefits, the spirit of desperation is gonna seep into them, man. And that spirit of desperation is gonna cause niggas to steal. And what's that's gonna cause? For the military to come out of here, man. Mama Rashad, a brother can look up that word desperation for me. Get what you got. It's a moment, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, get it. Say, get it. I got you. You got it. You got it.
Done. Ezekiel 4:16. Moreover, he says to me, son of man, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem. It says, they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment.
Got it.
Yeah, it's pretty much, hey, like we went into, man, you got Jay complaining on TikTok and different social media sites about them being stripped away from their life support, but they really don't know that this is coming from Yahawah Sham Rawchaa. That's through the left hand. Esau, who was pretty much said to cut this shit off. All right, he spoke about how we were fed from the face of the serpent, with the revelation of the serpent. It's going to take all that away, man. That's right. And Jacob's panicking. What is that? That perplexity? Luke 21:25. You for the lack of resources. Now you don't know what to do. So what are you going to do next? You're going to resort to stealing, looting, rioting, violence, giving Esau a reason to come down and get that great rap. See, you're falling right into the traps because these devils are laid foot, man. You don't even know it. See? It's going to be even fearful. Like when you open a bag of chips, you know, when it's a family, you don't want nobody to know you got a bag of chips. Another thing you cracking up that bag, they're going to come to your door, man. And take this shit. That's the time when you come into it. Prepare this time. See? That's real quick.
The word desperation in Merriam-Webster, first definition, loss of hope and surrender to despair. Loss of hope and surrender to despair.
It says loss of hope, man. So niggas are gonna lose themselves when they're hungry, man. Because ultimately, Yahawah Sham is gonna hit you like nobody else hit you, man. You're not yourself when you're hungry, man. So again, that's something, you know, niggas can go without box. You know, niggas can go without the brand new clothes and shoes and shit like that. But you cannot go without eating, man. And once you see, you know, once the last piece of pork chop gets sold from Walmart, then ultimately they're gonna try to go to the pets. Then ultimately they're gonna try to go to the pets. Then the pets, all the pets running out, the cats running down in the alleys and shit like that. Then it gets to a point where people are gonna start eating people, man. But ultimately, you know that the Lord prophesied that even in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, even says that too. What? You shall go to the enemy for the want of all things. So once this enemy take this food away, what's going to be the reaction to the nation of Israel, man? Motherfuckers who full of McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, these different chemicals, which actually get you hungry, man. Once these chemicals hit your body, you ain't eating in a couple days, ultimately, this guy's going to come with the sea help, man. This is the ultimate goal is for you to take this so you can really trust him. Give me what you got, bro.
It is Isaiah 36:6. Lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed.
Yeah, it says thou trustest in this staff of this broken reed. Then the Lord said he's going to take away the stay in the staff. So you trusted in a broken staff, a broken reed, a broken system, because guess what? This system wasn't really meant for Jake, man. This system wasn't really meant for Israel, and I hate to see a nigga trying to make it here, man. Because ultimately, what you're going to have to do is sell your soul, man. For lack of better words, what is your backside or what is your mouth, you know? But at the same time, you deceiving the people will ultimately lead you in a bad state with the Lord. Read it again off the top.
Yeah, it says Isaiah 36:6. Lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed. On Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it would go into his hand and pierce it.
It will go into his hand and pierce it. So you trust in the food system. Even brothers, man. Brothers eat too. You know, brothers like to eat good and shit like that, but it's going to get to a point when you're going to either have to trust in the Lord or trust in his system, man. You know? You got it?
Yeah, it says it will go into his hand and pierce it.
Yeah, so when there's no more food out here, either you're going to trust in the Lord or you're going to take this seed. Now this seed up is going to what is called a UBI, a universal basic income, which this government is basically giving you allowance. That's like you being that's like Esau being your spiritual sugar daddy then, man. And it's not like it's going to roll over from month to month. If you don't spend all that money in 1 month, guess what? Too damn bad, man. You know, but you got to do it.
Yep, it says, so is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him.
It says, so was Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. So the step of you trusting in this system is you taking this mark, this seal. People say they pledge allegiance to the flag. A part of your ultimate pledge into this wicked beast system is you taking this seal in your right hand and in your forehead. You know? Come on, you got something?
Yeah, got an article for y'all. This is with theguardian.com. Americans brace for food stamps to run out. The greatest hunger catastrophe since the Great Depression.
Get Lamentations, the 4th chapter, bottom of the shop. You got to read that one more time, bro.
It says, Americans brace for food stamps to run out.
This is America's brace for, and that's like when you brace for something, you see the pain coming. You got it?
The greatest hunger catastrophe since the Great Depression.
Yeah, the greatest hunger catastrophe since the Great Depression, man. Now when you go into the history of the Great Depression, it's a beautiful history, man. The economy crashed, and ultimately, a lot of people was, struggling, for the lack of better words, man. But it was a sense of, prohibition. Automatically, it was still a few gold coins and things like that laying around. Guess what? That shit ain't gonna happen this time. Because you know what? This system is backed up by the petrodollar, man. You know, but you gotta believe it.
Like Ed, real quick, going back to that depression, because back then, you had people who knew how to plow the land, they plant, supply themselves, resources. And these times, you got people who are completely dependent on the system. Like, they really, DoorDash, things being brought to them, they're convinced, with the system that snare people. So in that time of system left again, they're not gonna have anything to lean on. Because they don't know how to supply themselves.
You got it. What's something on it?
It just a little bit. It says nearly 42 people. So like nearly 42 million people in danger as federal government shutdown continues and SNAP funding to end November the 1st.
Yeah, and again, that's really next week for real. For lack of better words, November 1st hit. But a lot of people depend on this government official. Again, he going to the enemy for the one of all things. But it's going to get to a point where Esau's going to put you in a snare, man, by putting this corrupt in. What you got?
It's really, that's almost like 1/3 of it ain't 1/3 of America, but that's a great portion of America's population, man. So 42 million people being pushed to the brink of destitution. Hey, they're gonna make some rash decisions, as the definition brought out, as the brother brought out earlier, man. It's gonna reap evil benefits to you people. It's gonna create bad times. Right? I got this here because without an answer, because you people haven't sown any righteous seeds towards Yahawashi. Everybody wants to say the reason people think that, hey, I'm not worried about that. I have a personal relationship with God. I have a one-on-one. Yeah, right. Nigga. How many times do you really pray? Like how many times do you really subjugate yourself and do you take the low? Do you suffer?
You know what I mean? How many times do you think about the route ahead?
So without you actually putting in, you putting forth that effort of Yahawashi, knowing that this is the individual that's gonna save you in that day. Fear cometh about, man. That's why these females done already came, as brothers were saying earlier. These females are really on TikTok, on Instagram, talking about like, look, man, hey, these stamps don't hit. Hey, this money get low, I'm selling it. Hey, that thing finna be for the low.
Hey, right back. If a brother with a girlfriend, man, hey, this gonna be the perfect time, man. He that found the life out there. Good thing.
Isaiah 4:1.
Isaiah 4:1.
So if you could bring this this was gonna come into effect. Brother was speaking on this is gonna be really ready to give it up, man. Because we're coming into desperate times, man.
Yeah, but these people only have a carnal vision. Hey, I'm just adding back to what the brother said.
These people only have a carnal vision of how to move forward. They don't have a spiritual understanding. They don't have a spiritual vision. If you bring this out, Baba Bashar? No, I got it. Okay. I got it.
This is Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 18. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
So these people, these females and these men thinking that sowing unto the flesh is going to actually reap them some type of benefit because I'm going to need modern day currency. I'm going to need now currency. That now currency is only spiritual, man. This physical currency, the scriptures told us that what? That the means they should not regard silver nor gold, man. I got this. Just the line back and you got it, bro. This is Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 12. For fear is nothing else but a betrayal of the succors which reason offer. So the succors that Jake is used to is exactly what the brothers have been going into. The EBT, the SNAP, the alimony, the Social Security, not food child support, alimony. These things, these are succors within society. The ability to sue someone.
Oh yeah. That's being taken away.
That's being taken away, man. The ability to say, hey, you're infringing upon my personal rights. Yo, my civil liberties. No, those are being taken away, man. Esau's taking those away to a point that these people in a state of fear. So now women are telling live in 3D in real time, hey, yo, come November, I'm selling. That's fear, man. There's nothing else but fear. You can try to glam it up, you can try to romanticize it, and you can try to trivialize it as much as you want, and you can try to make it as comical as you want. But it's the truth, man. These people are at their wits' end.
Ultimately, these people gonna get humble. They're gonna get to a point. People are gonna be in that ancient mindset. Because all these modern things, whether it be technology, they're gonna be taken away. With an EMT technique and all these different things, people ain't gonna be worrying about Facebook. You know, she ain't got no real good skills. She ain't got no people skills or something like that. The only skill she got is just being between her legs and shit. You know? Now, hold on. Oh,
Man, you said secure the reasonable way.
Yeah, support the reasons.
If I may, Isaiah 33 and 6, because this is the true reason. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, Yahawah shall is his treasure. If I may, yeah, this is the true support right here. It's weak reasoning by the way of the Holy Scripture. Going back to that Proverbs we just brought out, that law, that word law goes in the body of prophetic teachings. So it's these prophetic teachings that gives us true reasoning and that gives us stability of mind to know how to carry ourselves in these dangerous times that we're coming into. And already have started, it's already started, right? But it's going to increase. But it's going to be the Holy Scriptures that are going to keep us stable in mind, Lord willing, we're part of that precious help.
Baba Shah, brother, can get Proverbs 22 and 3. Because ultimately, the Lord, like the brother just mentioned, things are already starting, man. And it's like you in the midst of a battlefield with your hands waving, man. Look at me. You asking to get shot while the wise is hiding themselves, man. Now, brother, got it.
Come. This is Proverbs 22 and 3. A prudent man foreseeth evil and hideth himself.
Just like he was mentioning, man, wisdom and knowledge being is the middle of our times. You know, we ain't finna get to a point where brothers go out there every day basis. They get to a point we ain't finna fuck around, man. Ultimately, because we're too close until the curtain call, man. We're too close to the end. We ain't finna go around and celebrate with these niggas down at the Magic City Classic, man. You got it, bro.
But the simple pass on and are
He
punished.
says, but the simple pass on and are punished, man. And a lot of the niggas are simple, man. Especially a lot of niggas amongst Israel. Look at Captain Cesario. World War III is popping off, and you on damn a podcast, and really they making jest of you. Now we know the scriptures say whether roughly paraphrase, whether exalted or debased, the word of the Lord get out. I forgot Paul said that, but at the same time, roughly paraphrase, man, you want this truth to come out and our true faith and sincerity, man. You don't want to have to water down this truth so you can make everybody else feel pleased. Because they asked this guy, they're like, do you want him to be persecuted? He had to go back on the scriptures, man. Y'all didn't watch that video? Y'all seen at the end of the video, he was like, he asked people like, do you want, because they were making fun of his name, you want to sorry out to get persecuted? They were like, no. Like Cesare, you want me to be persecuted? You could even preach that in a wise way. When you go to the scriptures, God wants somebody to be persecuted, man. And it's not going to be the nation of Israel.
If I may, it's like if I may, it said, why trimmest thou way to seek love?
Beautiful, bro. And what you trimming? You trimming the doctrine. You trimming the doctrine just to please some Amalekites, man. Niggas probably gave you $1,300, man. You know?
Man, it's like Scripture said in the gift destroy the heart, beautiful, the ways of justice. There's a reason why all these niggas on podcasts, you know, like Zaria, the Jews, man. You gotta get some people, but you on there talking about, hey, it's not a boy, you like, God heard the word from one day. So, yeah, I mean, but you know, these guys, they've been sold up. They've been bought out, right? That's how they're pretty much perverting the ways of righteousness. They've been being led astray because of that.
Yeah, brothers, you got something?
I got something. This is Ecclesiastes 7:2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to the house of feasting.
Yeah, it says it's better going to the house of mourning than to go into the house of feasting. You got it?
It says, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart.
Yeah, so you're going to the house of feasting, really the house of partying and bullshit, the house of the fucking world, man. Ultimately, it's going to be into your wits' end. Because ultimately, yeah, you might live for a season. You know, you might be doing it for a little while because it's another guy too. I hate pointing, Cesaria, you still got love for him just a little bit. But they got Hoover, the Hoover Israelite, man. Alizé, man. That thug passion ass nigga, for lack of better words. The Lord is gonna do him wrong. Because instead of you pushing out the word, this nigga on Twitch doing a live stream, man. He's on Twitch pushing forth an adverse way of life. You're supposed to be an Israelite, you're supposed to be a priest. Your daily life is supposed to be you studying and praying, lighting up frankincense, but your daily life is you out there in the fucking club, man. You got it.
If I can add, because that's the house of mourning. Even though I want to soul to my flesh too, man. I want to get them hoes. I want to be like you. I want to be shining and glistening like young Island.
House of
Nah, man. You got to be like you. Somebody got to chant this love for me, man.
But I said, like you said, that's the house of feasting, because they partying bullshit.
Yeah.
But the house of mourning, like, God damn.
Like, God damn, man. How long was we will suffer, Lord? Like, hey, man, we down here getting our ass kicked. And Jake down here playing, man. Down here trying to tremendous his way to what? To seek the pleasure, the little pleasures that are left, the crumb, the true crumb, the residue of Babylon. Because it's clearly that this thing is sucking on the train, man. It's at the very bottom. It ain't got a hole, it ain't got half a sink. It's through, man. It says, for the end of all men, and the living will lay to his heart. So the living, the only living are the ones that are living according to the scriptures, man. Because what? We have the life. But he'll lay it to what? He'll lay it to thought. He'll lay it to mind.
Yeah, to his law.
Yeah, to his law. So he's going to order his way. You know?
Just going back and saying on Sirach, the 39th chapter, he that left his mind and his way unto the prophecies. So ultimately, if you know the prophecies, you really should be mourning. Even the brother Yahawah pulled that out there earlier today. It says, I have piped unto you and ye have not rejoiced, but I have also mourned unto you, you have not lamented, man. Because if you don't get right with the Lord on this side, you ultimately going to die, man. So real quick, I got you some.
You got to back the brothers up. It's Proverbs 14 and verse 13. Even in laughter, the heart is sorrowful, and the end of that mirth is heaviness.
Just the end of that mirth is heaviness. That's why you see guys like Kodak Black, Lil Wayne. Nigga had a good career here in this world, here in this society, even Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was the shit, man. But at the end of his life, he was born. Nigga had the shakes. You know what I'm saying? Nigga couldn't even really live out his damn life. Because why? He was trusting in his wickedness that Esau gave him, man. That's right. You got it, Simone.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 3. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better.
So it's good to be sad. It's good for you to basically be in a depressed spirit here in this society, because now you don't want to trust in it. Every time Jake trying to get a leg up on this society, he get trapped down, man. Read it one more time for me.
Ecclesiastes, it's like this switch.
If you can, you got to pay attention.
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 3. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better.
Yeah, the heart is made better, man. So the Lord is really building us up to endure the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Because people don't even know the time of Jacob's trouble is not going to be a time of murder, a time of bullshit, you know, a time where you just sit back and relax and you can eat what you want to. You can watch TV, scroll on TikTok. No, man. The time of Jacob's trouble is going to be just like the times of 70 AD, man. There's going to be a whole bunch of lack of resources for everybody, man. It ain't like we just speaking no brothers too. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like brothers going to be dismissed from this. No, brothers going to be in the midst of these things in order to trust in the Lord. Bible Shah brother can get St. John the 17th chapter.
My man, bad you up. He said, purge me with hyssop. I mean, he white as snow, roughly paraphrasing. You know, hyssop is bitter, right? But it said purging, you got to go through a cleansing process. And these hard times and, you know, hell brothers catch. Ultimately, it's the purge that draws out of you and to build you up to be able to stand in a rough time, man.
Yeah, that's everything. But that's a beautiful point, huh? Because again, those bitter herbs make you better. They make you better. You know, even like turmeric is better than sugar. You know? So you got it. Oh, you got that same time? That's enough?
Just one more. Yeah. If I may, verse 4, Ecclesiastes 7:4, it says, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth.
Yeah, it says the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning. And what's a part of that mourning? You sign and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, man. You know? While the rest of everybody is just bullshit. And ultimately, it's a reward for signing and crying. It's a reward for crying out. That virgin who's talking to another, if she don't cry out, then ultimately she gonna get put to death, man. But if she do cry out, it's a possibility. She hope that somebody will save her, man. You know?
Zephaniah 3:18 said, I will gather them that are soft for the solemn assembly, who are against whom the reproach of it was a burden. And that's going into like the Lord's going to gather those who are mourning, those who are sighing out crying. Using what that Ezekiel 94 that mark of the wife be a example of judgment. But we're not in this life to have a good time. We understand, hey, this is our punishment. You know, so we got this punishment. We got to sign cry to the Most High to get us out of it, man. Because we understand the condition that people put into it. You know, we search on the bill, search on the pavement. All right? The so-called white man is over. The woman is over. Everything is out of order, man. So we understand righteousness. That should make you by default be soft and blind, man. Right? It's something better, but by default, cause us to hate to come up and get my head.
Bible Shah brother can hold Psalms 107 and verse 28. That's something.
Back up the Rawchaa done. This is Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, when he quoted, and the Lord Yahawashi said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Now, when you go into that word Kawah, or that word mark, it goes back to Kawah, which actually means what? Exempt from judgment. So the men that sign and crying, they're going to be exempt from the dangerous things that's coming upon the planet Earth. The famine, cannibalism, you know, war. This is going to be things get jacked off in World War III, man. You know? There's a lot of things that's happening on, but that shield of the Lord is going to be protected from it. You got it?
Verse 5. And to the others he said in my hearing.
Yeah, the others, which is who? The damn 2/3, man. The niggas out there in the Magic City Classic. You got it?
Go ye after him through the city and smite, that not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
So the Lord, he's not going to have pity on you niggas, especially here in these other days, because Yahawashi gave y'all niggas a chance, man. He gave you the prophets, you know, and niggas know Jesus Christ, you know, Jesus Christ. Everybody know he ain't no white man. So something as small as that, you watching that first, you know, that was Good Times first episode. Yahawashi, you know, like Yahawashi, that was the first episode. You watching that, that's really the Lord showing your intelligence. So really, there's no excuse. That's the gospel being preached unto you. That's the first episode.
Hey, so that shows that
You got it.
hey man, screw I ain't know.
Yeah,
I thought that was a heavy ass.
that's the first episode. They get a lot
that
like
show you, like the Lord showed you, this is like you niggas in the ghettos, man.
Yeah.
Because what do they label the ghettos as? The dwelling place of the Jews. See? Like, oh, which place? They ain't talking about those Khazars. They ain't talking about Amalek. You see?
They ain't talking about the Ashkenazi. They talking about you so-called Negroes, Latino, Native American, but ultimately the tribe of Judah. See? The tribe of Judah. That's what it's synonymous with. And everybody is procured and bewildered. Everybody's bewildered by the roads that grew from the concrete. You know? Good Time was an example of that, man. And just a spirit that, you know, like, hey, the brother brought that out, man. You know? Hey, the Lord is showing you his symbolism, man, through Esau.
There's no excuse now. There's really no excuse. That's why we've been signing and crying. It ain't like they've been following up deaf ears. Niggas been hustling. No, but they ain't been listening to it. We told you America be destroyed. We told you even a couple weeks ago, it was a cool motherfuckers like that who said shit about EBT. And all of a sudden now it's a point. It's a seed planted in their hand like, oh, this motherfucker was right. But guess what? They was right on the last for that 1 second. And ultimately it's gonna go into some other shit. Kiki coming over the mic, man. You know? Yeah, brothers got it.
It says, let not your eye and smite, let not your eye spare, neither have you pity.
Yeah, neither have you pity, because why? The Lord have given you the words of righteousness, man. But a lot of niggas refuse. Come on.
Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women.
And women, man. That name women twice, man. But maids and little children, them niggas, them neglects, them YNs, them old adulterers, them unks, the Lord will kill all these niggas, man. And the reason why, because your heart is not towards him. You got it?
But come not near any man upon whom is the mark.
Yeah, and that mark goes back into the walk, the elect. That's what it's talking about, man. You got it?
And begin at my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient men which were before the house.
And that's how you know even the Lord going to kill a lot of Israelites out here, man. Your brother's going to get killed for righteousness' sake, but if you're not a brother, you're going to get killed for wickedness' sake, man. Niggas going to get killed trying to break into somebody's house to stay home instead of trusting in the Lord, you know. Niggas going to get killed trying to eat something else, trying to eat a raccoon instead of trusting in the Lord, you know. You got it, Sham.
Yup, this is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15, starting at verse 7. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more.
Start at verse 4.
This is the book of 2 Ezra.
Matter of fact, oh, that's one. My bad, bro. My bad. That's it. Because again, just going back into we started off talking about prophecies, man. World War III is popping off. Putin's not even fucking with Trump no more. But one of the major things is the family is popping up. Brother Sham, brother can hold that Lamentations 4. It is better to die by the sword. I can just quote it. It is better to die by the sword than the family. Because your body wasted away when you damn hungry, man. You gotta realize that's why 70 AD was a major thing, because a lot of people was really starving to death, man. That's one of the worst ways you can die. You got it?
It's the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 1. It says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Yeah, so when we pull out these precepts, ultimately, it's not like they're following up ears. It's just going to be nigga just talking shit. No, when we speak these things, ultimately it take effect upon the planet Earth. You got it, bro.
Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee.
Now, when you go into that word incredulity, it really means an unbeliever, man. So it's going to be a lot of scoffers and scorners that's going to come with you siding with Yahawashi. Just like in the ancient world. People try to make like our Lord was just everybody loved him. If everybody loved him, why did they kill him, man? Niggas actually made a coup. Niggas was lying on the Lord just so they could put him to death. How much more is they going to do that regardless today? You got social media and shit like that. They got deep fakes, Google AI images. They're set up for you to get demonized, man. But guess what? It's a beautiful thing to get demonized for righteousness' sake. You got it.
St. John 7, verse 7, it says, the world cannot hate you, but be a hater. God testify of it that the words thereof are evil. Yeah, just going back to what he said. We come in the story of Yahawashi, man. Yahawashi was not loved in the ancient Roman Empire. Why? Because he spoke out against wickedness. So much where Jacob and Jacob's own people here, right? Because you see how people come up against us, man, it's the same effect that was taken back, take the fit back to the time of Roman Empire. So that same spirit has been serving and been killed and been generated these times through his prophets. Man, that's why people hear us today, man. It's the same spirit of Yahawashi.
It says that speak against thee, Fear all, so like, if I made you that number, verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against me, and not the incredulity of them that trouble me, that speak against me. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
So that's going to be the penalty for you not believing, man. Ultimately, you're going to die in your unfaithfulness, whether that be in a famine, whether that be in one of these guerrilla warfare things happening out here in the streets, man. The Lord got a perfect judgment set up for the unbelievers, man. But for the believers, it's going to be for lack of better words, it's going to be even a rocky road for us. Because even once you look at the history of all the prophets of men of the Lord, it ain't like it was a cakewalk. No, they had to go through the midst of it. It ain't like when Daniel got taken away into the Babylonian captivity. They was like, yeah, now we're going to leave Daniel here. And everybody, no, man, they took Daniel first. You know, Daniel was a part of that royal siege. That's what they took first and put into captivity, man. You know? So who's that going to try to get first in this time? When you read the book, Behold the Pale White Horse, they already mentioned before 2 weeks they push out that different, before 2 weeks, they put on 2 of the 4 weeks before they push out that system, but that well life, they're going to try to break in brothers' homes at 4 in the morning. That's reading the book, man. You know, you got it.
Verse 5, Behold, saith the Lord, will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction.
Yeah, the sword, famine, EBT, death and destruction, man. And that sword is going to tap into the famine too. Because once people are hungry, you know, instead of nigga getting robbed for a pair of shoes or nigga getting robbed for 50 bands, niggas only get robbed for food now, man. Niggas gonna have all that money on them, be like, nah, give me those Doritos, man. You got it?
It says, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled.
And that's the fulfillment of what? Job 9 and 24, man. That the scriptures was fulfilled when Esau got into power, but ultimately when this guy was going to get ready to push forth this beast system. Because you got to realize, even over there in China, they got their social credit score. Over there in the UK, they just starting to prep up this digital currency. Now, they're not just digital currency, but this digital ID. It's over like 10,000 people that's already sealed over there in Sweden. This is the Lord really prepping the end. Like you got the stew, you cutting the onions, you got the meat in there and everything. So the Lord is throwing in all the ingredients for our salvation. You know, because we're going to have to be saved from these different things, man. You got it, bro.
Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit.
Yeah, because ultimately these niggas are walking around like it's not no higher power, man. Niggas don't have, even Israel as a whole, bro. That shit's sad to see Jake move without standards. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, Jake just trusts in Esau and think he's going to take care of you for the rest of your life, man. Not knowing that this nigga is going to get ready to take your ass out. You got it?
Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves.
So the Lord's not going to suffer the LGXYZ niggas adultery, NBA young boy. The Lord ain't going to sit back and let this shit run throughout the planet Earth because Yahawah, Sham, know that this is the representation of death, man. Because this is not the doctrine that's coming from the soul of the Israelite. This is not a doctrine that's coming from Yahawah, Sham. This is a doctrine that's coming from the so-called white man. There's a reason why NBA Youngboy is the #1 hit artist instead of a gospel singer. Why? If everybody love the Lord, why the gospel don't ever break the top 10? Yeah, come on, man. That shit, if everybody love the Lord, why gospel ain't the biggest thing out here? You got it.
Behold, the innocent and righteous blood cried unto me.
And again, going back to the Ezekiel 9 and 4, that righteous sign and crown for all the abominations that done in the midst thereof, man. Because it's sad to see Edomites on power. It's sad to see even our people. You see an older Jake shaking a job before a white man. It's sick out here, man. But ultimately, the Lord, he's going to make everything right. You know, because he even tells us that surely you're turning the things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. So the Lord's going to get ready to make things right. You know, you got it, bro.
And the souls of the just complain continually.
Yeah, we complain continually. Even when you talk to a brother throughout the week, man, how you been? You know, it's a Babylon. You know how it is. That's just at the least. You know, don't let a brother see some judgment of it. You know, this brother had a bad week. I'm gonna let you know. I'll put this, put a curse. You know, make sure y'all put up y'all curses too. You know, not you put a curse on the individual. Make sure you put on curses upon Babylon, man. You know, send curses upon Trump and everybody, man. Because we want this kingdom to be taken down. You got it?
And therefore, saith the Lord,
If I may, because they send curses upon us, bro. You got it? David. Yeah. David.
Jake singing down chants. Jake singing chants against themselves.
Bro, that boy, 38 baby. That whole first verse wicked, man. Wow, what's up, man?
They say that was one of his best
Best
concerts.
songs, yeah.
That was one of his best concerts on this tour. Birmingham, Alabama. Outside there.
Man, it was a bride that went down. The spirit that they told me, it felt like sinners in them. She said it felt like sinners in them. And I ain't like, you know that scene when motherfucker like traveling through time and shit, and they were dancing. She said it felt just like that in real shit, bro. And I told her, I was like, man, it's demon on, you know. Jake was on one. Jake ain't gonna say it, but she was going into it. She was like, I had a good time. And when they played that 38 baby and shit, she was like, demon. She was like, yeah, that was the first scene. That's what I said, man. Oh, and then see me smoking dope with the demons. You know, and they say this was born weed and that whole shit and everything, bro. So again, that congregation of wickedness actually affected people, man. Yeah. You know? But you had some more? What?
I got it. 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 20. It says, "For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them."
Yes, because let's say even, you know, ain't nothing wrong with listening to music, but let's say, put that down, brother, let's watch a video. You know what I'm saying? Niggas say, hey, bro, you know, we don't want to hear the Bible. I used to hear UAB and shit like that. And Jake first got into the truth, man, you can kind of play it off. Jake, man, I went and still the shit, but you know, you kind of play it off and shit. But every time I used to, you know, drink some shit, start talking about the scriptures, man. And a bitch, and a dude that boy, my homeboy told me that shit, man. Told me, yeah, bro, don't be on that Bible shit tonight. Because he know when I get on him. Jake, he know how Jake get, but at the same time, that just shows you that a lot of people don't want to hear the truth. And ultimately, that nigga gonna die. That's like you drowning, and I got a life raft. I'm throwing out 100 life rafts, man.
Yeah.
He said, hey, bro, I'm good.
Yeah.
That make you get it, you stump on the water in him, man. Yeah, don't throw another life raft.
That's how I went through that. Like, just to add to the book, Jeremiah went through that same thing. He started out, you know, having love for the people, but eventually he was like, yeah, man, we see something else.
I say, fuck them, man. Because ultimately, bro, when we love Israel, that's why we teach the word. Even when you go into Apostle Paul, one Apostle Paul said, I want all Israel to be saved. But it can't be so. Because why? All Israel will not come into the congregation of the righteous. They even fucking try to, man. Niggas are too propped up in this world, bro. And that's why this place got to be destroyed. It's not only destroying us, it's destroying us as a fucking people, man. You got to do it.
So, man, going back to that word despise, it goes in the whole is insignificant. So they don't think this word is important. They think the things that they see before them is more important than this word, because going back to that Proverbs, where there's no vision, the people perish. They ain't got no vision. They can't see beyond Babylon the Great. So they think this is not important. Until that day comes, what it said, then they'll know that the prophecy has been among them. Because when they see these prophecies come to pass, they're going to know that these words are faithful and true, man. Continuing on, verse 21, it says, "For the Most High has given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment." And that straight commandment is the testimony of the Lord Yahawashi, which comes in what? The spirit of prophecy. So you're being warned beforehand what's going to happen and what to do to be kept. In 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 7, we're going to by your faith and by works shall you be saved from the sad perils, worth of paraphrase. So you got to believe on the doctrine. You got to believe on the report. That's how you're going to be saved. And if you believe, you're going to conduct yourself a certain way. You're going to follow out the Lord with all sincerity, man, hoping to be saved. It's like you got it.
Yep, going back. This 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 9, it says, "And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them."
Now it says, I will surely avenge them. That really means the Lord's going to answer our prayers, man. And what's a part of our prayers, man, for the Lord to destroy this place? That's why you gotta push out your brothers, say your prayers, but make sure you put your curses upon Esau, man, the elites too, man. Because the Lord is gonna avenge our prayers. You got it? You got something else?
I got it. This is Psalms 107 verse 28. Then they cry unto the Lord in their trouble.
Yeah, they cry unto the Lord in their trouble. What is they talking about? The times of Jacob's trouble, man. Which is the times that we're creeping up upon. This is the times that we need salvation, man. You ain't need salvation in 2004 when Michael Vick was playing for the Falcons, man. Everything was good. Jake was living in the fucking world, man. Had them foes on. Going on bitches and shit, man. 2008, we damn sure didn't think we needed. Obama was in office. Jesus had that. My president is black, Jake was fucking lost, man. But when you fast forward into 2025, bro, and further, bro, we need Yahawah, Sham, more the devil, man. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and all that, man. Because without the Lord, you're going to die in these last days. You got it?
Yeah, it says, then they cry to the Lord in their trouble, and he bringeth them out of their distresses.
And he says, the Lord, we cry to our Lord in the troubles, and he bringeth us out of our distress. Now, our distress is going to be the time of Jacob's trouble, how the Lord is going to deliver us in every time and every place during this dangerous situation, but also physically, man. When the missiles hit upon the planet Earth, Lord willing, our prophesy will be a part of that number. We're going to be saved from that distress by the way of those UFOs, man. The vehicles are our salvation. The vehicles that's going to come from above, that's going to save us from these dangers that happen. Because it's even going to be a build-up until the missile. Brother's going to go through the family. That's why it even says in the kingdom, they're going to go to the kingdom named a hall. Basically, damn, you gotta go to the kingdom. Name. Basically, sick.
Plug out an eye.
Yeah, better plug out an eye. They a whole body. Now, we know that's talking about the body for lack of better words, but brother might lose a hand or something like that in the time of Jacob's trouble, man.
And all of what? And all of being a witness unto the spirit of Yahawashi, and the state of righteousness. Now, you can be rebellious towards this society just to be rebellious. There's a lot of Edomites going to get with the devil because they're just in the Edomite spirit of rebellion. But the ones that are going to be saved for righteousness' sake are going to be the Israelites, man. And only the Israelites. For Yahawah, Shashai's sake. Not Yeshua, not Yeshaya, not Yahuwah, nothing else but the name Yahawah, Shashai, man.
Hey, if I may, he gonna live up to his name.
What's
his name? Yahawashi. He saves and he delivers, man. His name ain't named. It's an omen known. So, of course, the Lord, he's going to set up a situation in different scenarios for us to be saved. I think it's a little bit more than that. Is it more verse? 29.
It says, he maketh the storm a calm.
That he maketh the storm calm. So even when Esau come down having great wrath, the Lord's going to make that storm calm, man. The Lord's going to make you have a peaceful mindset, for lack of better words, in the midst of that danger. Just like when you go into the story of Elisha and his servant. Elisha's servant bugged out, man. What's going on? But when that storm came calm and the Lord opened his eyes and he seen what was going on, I'm good now. And that's going to be the same thing with us today. Yeah, brother.
It says, so that the ways thereof are still.
Yeah, so that the ways thereof are still, man. Simona? Yeah, brother, got something?
This is Rawchaa, Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 25. In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction.
And that's what's going on now, man. Jake done forgot that, hey, man, this same guy that brought you child slave. This same guy that gave you game, baby, dervish dope, took you through the crack epidemic, took you Puerto Ricans through that through the sterilization period of the 70s and the 60s and the 80s. This is the guy, but you people forget. So this is the day of prosperity, like the brother was going into the early 2000s, man. Hey, man, shit, it was a beautiful time, man. I was there.
Yeah, I was there,
Came up in the 90s. 90s was hell, but hey, man, it was still beautiful times because, hey, you had family, you had that, it was a more wholesomeness, It was still that sense of, camaraderie and family that was still there. That's absolutely gone, man. You Jake sitting up there, you Jake chasing a false dream. That's an old habit. know, that was your first high.
First high.
You got it in your childhood, man. You still chasing. Shit ain't coming back, man.
Yeah, that might be niggas on the slingshots.
We chasing, like, that's why we chasing for something harder now. It's like we chasing for a harder hit. And the only thing that hits us like that is the spirit. To understand this knowledge and wisdom. This word, as brother said, man. All right? It says, in the day of prosperity, there's a forgetfulness of affliction. So Jake done forgot the hard times, man. It says, in the day of affliction, there was no more remembrance of prosperity. I done damn near forgot it, brother. Brothers know what I go through. Hey, I know what brothers go through. Hey, man, it ain't as sweet as it used to be. But it ain't gonna be, it ain't as sweet as it is now. It won't be in the future. Yeah. That's the sadness that's coming to these people, man. Really, it's gonna get so bad that you don't care what the future looks like. You just wanna be there. You see how bad that is? The brother always, the brother going to it from time to time. But speaking of those Jakes, those two lepers, brother, hey, hey, but those two lepers, they was like, death was the common thing on planet Earth. Death is gonna get so bad that you people are gonna, as long as I don't see death, I don't care how the future looks, man. So if there's a forgetfulness of the life that was, it's like, I just want to be a part of the life that is. You see how bad it is that you will go through slavery. Ask our people. That's how Jake is here staying here today, man. You see? That you gonna humble yourself, man. But that only comes through the spirit of Yahawah. He's the one that creates these situations. That's why the Lord said there's a forgetfulness. You see? The Lord can make it so bad, it's like, man, it's wrong for me to even think on a good time. That shit ain't never coming back. I'll jump down and pass it back to the brother. It says the affliction, because we're in the affliction of the hour. All right? It says the affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure.
If I may, the shit can change overnight. You know, like about it, especially for a lot of these rappers and even anybody, man. Money can crash, it can zero out your account and things like that. And shit can go bad.
Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth. Our evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh. Thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in it. Yeah, pretty much going to what the brother's going to do. Like, hey, we've been briefed on the report foretells evil. So while we're in our youth, we got to grow up in this youth, we were born and retool all over again. And we got to keep this at the forefront. Remember the wrath of the Lord. That'll keep you away from that docile, conqueror, merge spirit. You see Jake in, man. But they don't really anticipate famine coming, economic collapse, the money drying up, and being snared, right? But we do. It goes on to say, while the sun or the light, or the moon or the stars be not dark, which is a metaphor for this truth, it's a representation of light, right? We need light to get out of darkness. We can give that to this truth. It says, though the clouds return after the rain, and the days when the keepers of the house are troubled, and the keepers of the house represents the economists, man. If you look at the economist who really knows what's going on, they know that, hey, America's time is ticking. That balloon has pretty much blown to the point of no return. And eventually, it's going to pop. That's your economic system, the dollar collapsing. Because the dollar, what, 37 trillion in debt, something like that? Eventually going to pop. Then what? Like we was talking about in the beginning, the Great Depression. People losing their jobs, losing their stability. Fuck a damn snap. You lose your job, your money, everything, your resources, your house, cars. It's going to be compromised, man. So what are you going to do then? It says, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they're few. Yeah, the grinders go into your jobs, man. There should be no one work for Egypt. He's the head, branch no tail may do.
And AI taking up a lot of cities, man.
And Amazon, we're talking about replacing with 600,000 jobs. All right, with AI. See that? AI is taking over. It says, the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the window shall be darkened. So there's going to be no hope for America. Those who are looking out for something good, you're not going to find it. And this is what we want our people about, man. Hey, you either come into the light or you remain in darkness and be disappointed. All right? When the dollar crash becomes fair.
Yeah. It's like you, again, like that's a bad point to say, you will be disappointed. It's going to be a beautiful thing to see niggas who trust in America get burnt, man. Because you thought this guy was going to be on top there, you know?
That's just to finish off on second Ezra. I mean, Sirach or Ecclesiastes 11:27.
And in his deeds
and in his end, his deeds shall be discovered. So that affliction that the Lord is going to bring you into, these bad times, these judgments, is what? It's indicative of the life that you've led, the life that the Lord had placed you into. You're an evil individual, man. So, hey, man, this is the judgment of the wicked. So you should stand as a forever memorial and monument to what? The judgment of evil. And this is what happens when you live a wicked life against Yahawah, Sham, stand in your life in your last days, man. Who you tell that to? Daniel, man.
Either you're going to stay in the light of salvation, or you're going to stand in the light of destruction. Because if you read up on that, it says, Sham shall awaken to everlasting life. Then some are going to awaken to what? Everlasting damnation, man.
I got something. All right, I'm going to bring this out. This is Revelation 18 and 10. It says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas. It says, alas, alas, the great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So that's proof that Yahawah Sham got this thing on the time limit. And that's it's beautiful that the Lord, when you look up that hour, it's simply talking about our times. Because we know an hour until the Yahawah Sham roughly goes into what? 45 years. So this hour of Yahawah Sham is talking to us. It's like, hey man, in 60 minutes, I'm gonna destroy Babylon. Right?
And also, physically, America going to be destroyed. It's gone.
60 minutes. And how shall he do it? He should do it by way of thermonuclear fire, man. ICBM missiles, man. If a brother pull, you can bring out what you have, and a brother bring that Joel out.
You got to bring it up. Come on.
This is Psalm 73 and 19. How are they brought into desolation as in a moment they are utterly consumed with terror. This is Psalm 73 and 19. How are they brought into desolation as in a moment they are utterly consumed with terror?
So they are brought into desolation in a moment. So what? Jake gonna be chilling, you know. Some individual gonna be Edomite gonna be laid out in the shade with their sunshades on, trying to get a tan. There's gonna be another Jake trying to climb up through a window, you know, doing some wickedness. There's gonna be another one breaking into whatever. But it says in a moment, in the midst of them doing their wickedness, the Lord said to us that when He make His coming, shall I who shall I find? Shall I find faith on earth? So who's gonna be found doing the work? That's the only way you can show your faith in that thing, man. By through what you resist or what you're fighting against the whole forth too, the works that you're doing. All right, read that back one more time, Bible Shop.
I think that's why I said the fruits of the labor, man. It's going to actually show in that latter day, man, whether it's a fruit of destruction or a fruit of salvation.
Back to Psalm 73 and 19 again, it says, how are they brought into desolation as in a moment?
In a moment. So they was doing whatever they was doing, but all of a sudden, I see bright lights. Nah, this ain't normal. What's going on up there, man? All these missiles. And then maybe if Esau's system is up here in America, because I'm talking to you Americans, man. I don't know what's going on in the UK. You brothers break that down, man, you know? But I'm talking about for you Americans here in Babylon. It's great, man. What are you going to do when those sirens do go off, if they go off, you know? With great perplexity, then they shall gather, their faces shall gather darkness. See, that's what's going to come, man. How shall you respond then? Get in your car, jump in your plane. What are you going to do? Nothing, man. You're going to receive judgment. It says within an hour. And we know, hey, those ICBM missiles, hey, Russia is sitting off the tip of Antarctica as we speak. He's at the cusp of Canada, at the very top, man. He got naval ships right there. He can touch America in 15 minutes. It's no problem. So you'll see that with ease, man. It's gonna be a simple understanding of that thing. Read that back, Bible Shop.
Again, Psalm 73 and 19. How are they brought into desolation as in a moment they are utterly consumed with terror?
Terror. Oh my gosh. Ain't no time to call grandma. Ain't no last visits. Ain't no last cigarette. Ain't no last box gift. Ain't none of that. The only thing you got is terrible. Damn, I wish I should have did this. I could have did that. And here it is. You gonna see Jay. You know, I love that movie. The Gnome.
Yeah,
You know,
I just said it.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
Man, his friend was sitting on the sideline like looking like this motherfucker knew, but this there, but that's indicative of Esau's judgment. It's certain Edomites that know. It's some that don't believe, but it's certain Edomites that know, and it's still nothing he can do about it. And it was nothing Nicolas Cage character could do about it, but receive judgment. But his son that had to believe. See, he had to faith. Hey, the Lord was with him. You want to say something?
That's the experience, very heavy, because in scene, it was like one thing to do was get together and hug and shit like that.
That was it,
It
man.
was the next people, the child and the daughter. They were really starting to do life. You know, what you got?
That was,
Hey. Oh, you one of them was Caleb. With this dog. Caleb and Joshua. That's the spirit. Caleb and Joshua was when they really, introduced that new kingdom in Israel.
they introduced the promised land to them.
That's it.
But they had to go scope that thing out, man. They the only ones that came back with that good report.
They said that faithful report.
That
Everybody was
faithful,
scared.
yeah.
Everybody was scared. But they were like, we can take these,
Yeah, they wasn't half the height of those individuals in the land of Canaan at the time. But they knew, hey man, I done seen what Yahawashi. Hey, we know. We gonna be able to do it. You see? Now you can finish that.
Just going back, it says, they are utterly consumed with terrors. Salakin, if I may, what it says, it should bring them to the king of terrors. Lord Yahawashi, ultimately, through the spirit of prophecy, is going to bring the downfall and destruction of Babylon the Great, aka
That's right. That's right. Is that it on that? All right, we'll bring that back out. You have something?
Yeah, my mates going into the missiles. Back these brothers up. Real quick. This is the book of Joel, chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain.
And that's what's going on, man. And we're that trumpet, man, in his holy mountain. Because right now we're trumpet players in his holy covenant. You got bodyguards that you got secret agents, secret service, secret agents that protect the president. Hey, ain't no different, man. He's a part of the government. Hey, he got a particular ring. He can go indoors, you can't. And his pay is better, man. The same with us, man. There's certain things that, hey, man, he forgive me for that. You know who this dude is, man?
Hey, David.
Come on, man. The mercies of David. And Joshua. Hey, you see? Well, you got it.
It says, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand.
It says what? Read that slide.
It says, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble.
And we're the inhabitants of the earth, so we're in trembling, man. That's why also we're on the forefront, putting our lives on the line, understanding we're moving on faith. We're taking that leap of faith because the Lord said that what? That he shall encamp his angels around those that fear him, man. You see? We could be put to death at any given time, man. This is a new wonder upon the planet Earth. Our forefathers, hey man, your great-granddad couldn't have did this. We're doing it. Why? Because the Lord has called us to do a great work, to be those trumpet players, to push forth his word, man. Because it's a great reward that comes hereafter. Okay?
For the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand.
Yeah, so that's what we're professing, man. The day of the Lord is Yahawashi is at hand. Right? It's simple. When the last days begin, Yahawashi came on the scene, right? We had a great priest, great king that he said, man, I won't pass away until I see I see my Savior, man. He's seen it. Thus forth the last days begin, man. And we're at the very end. We're not at the beginning, man. We're at the end of it. You see? So therefore we're rejoicing in it, man. So we're gonna lift up our voice, man. We're gonna give our all at the very end. To whatever capacity that brother can, man. Because every brother is given a different portion, but give it your all.
If I make it like a trumpet, like a work. It's like you can get the high C and the low C. But guess what? Once you play them all folks together, it's harmony. And let this harmonious arrangement. These brothers, they got the two brothers, they got the drums and things like that. But ultimately, when all brothers come together, ultimately, that harmonious arrangement is speaking out. What you got?
This is Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid?
That trumpet is being blown, man. So are you not afraid, man? What did you want? Did you want us to call fire down from heaven? Did you want us to float? Did you want us to give you some deep saying, some great allegorical speech? Nah, man, we came with the simplicity and the plainness of Yahawashi and Yahawashi. These people are going to eat milk. You've seen it before, man. Look at Nagasaki and Hiroshima. You people are going to starve. Look at the many famines that you see before you to this very day. You got to look at Africa. You got feeding Africa, feed the kids. Look at Venezuela. Look at Brazil. Look at Gaza. The Gaza Strip is here. Your most recent example, man. To this day. Hey, to this day. Deontay Wilder, man. Simple like that.
He get to the point, I seen the video, it was a little girl eating her fingernails, man. Over there in Gaza, and he got to the point, you can see she was nibbling on the skin of her fingers, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you how bad it's gonna get here, man. You got
Look like shit. Hey, man. Hey, that's a symptom of having hepatitis A, man. The lack of growth fingernails. What up? Hey, that's how bad that's how hungry she is, man. That she's willing to eat the growth of her own body, her own flesh. See? Eventually she's gonna see that's null and void to get on yourself. She's gonna look to eat on another individual if she has to street. See? What you got?
Continuing, it says, shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord Yahawah Shema Shai not done it?
That is the very example we just expressed, man. Is that not evil? But had not the Lord done it? Hey, he can rain chicken down for them. We've seen him do it with quail, man. We've seen him give us the mountain of heaven for us to eat angels' bread. So these evils that are done in the earth, hey, the Lord done it, man. We've had examples of Esau actually collecting manna in a box. And I want to say it was over in one of those, it was in England land, it was like in Scotland, Ireland, one of those little sweet, and it was one of those like offshoot areas, those kind of places, so to speak. The Lord rained manna down in this place. And it came down for like weeks at a time. Just for it to become a phenomenon for this example to get out to us. That they actually put it in the box and they saved it to the next morning to actually show the people like, this is what the Bible is talking about. And it was gone, right? See? The Lord has the ability to do these things, right? Why am I bringing out this example? Because I believe in the Lord, He led me to the story. This ain't of us at this point, right? Jake got to accept his life. He got to fall into it, man. If a brother could get that in the Daniel, the last chapter, last verse, 12th chapter, last verse, Bible shot. Standing out lot. You had any more to that?
Verse 7, it says, surely the Lord Yahawah Shema Shai power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
So the Lord is going to reveal his secrets unto his servants, the prophets, and we've been given these secrets, right? Lord willing, hey, we've kept these secrets all the way down until now. That, hey, it be beneficial unto us and to the 1/3, the elect of Yahawah Shemashai's nation. Read that back, Bible shot one more time.
Amos 3 and 7 again, it says, surely the Lord Yahawah Shema Shai power will do nothing, but he revealeth it.
Surely, without a shadow of a doubt, before I do anything, I promise you, I'm gonna let you know this. This is the most important thing. I'm gonna fill you in on the nitty-gritty, the in-between, in the meantime, in between time. I'm gonna fill you in on it, but this is the most important thing I need you to know right now. Because this is the end all be all. Because I know this is what you're searching for. This is why I've been kicking your ass generation after generation, lifetime after lifetime, reincarnation after reincarnation to get to this point. Read that one more time.
Again, Amos 3 and 7. Surely the Lord Yahawah Shema Shai power would do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
The bulk of this understanding of Yahawah Shema Shai's name, that salvation is for the Israelites. That to receive this glorious inheritance, you're gonna catch air whether you be of the elect or of the 1/3, man. Everybody must pay a price, whether you be a woman, man, or child, man.
See, everybody, when people say, you gotta go for that judge to see. You can pull that motherfucker right now.
You right there, Father. That's beautiful. The brother said it because it's for you women that very few women that follow the brothers, man. Hey, your brother, the man of the Lord that you tether to, man. Hey, deal with it, man. Hey, that is needful and it's beneficial to you in the sight of Yahawashi and Yahawashi. Because he could be way worse than that, and way worse than what the Lord is giving to you as a man. But it's necessary because brothers are repentful. Brothers are acknowledgeable because I understand how I'm just speaking as a man. Hey, there's certain things that brothers go through the spirit. Hey, your woman do to you for brothers that got relationships. Hey, we do to the Lord, man.
Yeah.
So we have patience with you. But hey, man, just like the Lord, and I'm very mindful of it. Hey, I run out of patience with my people, man. Hey, the Lord will run out of patience for us. So hey, man, it's only but a few times. You better learn to read the temperature of the room, man.
Yeah, because a lot of times, anything everybody go through is really well deserved. You know?
Absolutely.
Even when we did evil, that's why I find in the 7th chapter, I dare to ignorance of the Lord, because I have sinned against him. Now, once you come into the nation of Israel, you claim to be a Judite, claim to be a Benjamite all the way down to Reuben. Guess what? You really acknowledging those sins, man. So those things that come upon you, you really got to accept them.
You got to accept that obstacle course that come with it. So, deal, man.
It's going to lead to salvation, you know? It's going to lead to salvation. It's not like a lot of these things. Everybody fuck up. Everybody falls short of the glory of the Lord and things like that. And everybody go through shit. But at the same time, what the Lord really want to see is you trying. You know, a lot of niggas ain't even trying to be righteous in this lifetime. You know? Yeah. One last thing. This one thing about a bride. Like you can see a bride, you know, you can see she ain't all the way there or some shit, but you can see her trying to please. You know, whether she can't cook for real or like that, but you can see she's making an effort to get right with you, man. And that's the same thing we do with the Lord. That's why we come to the Lord the same way, because that's how the woman came to us, man. You know, because everybody got to a point you got on the bride and some shit like that. She came to you, and you're like, let me rub your feet, baby. But at the same time, the Lord did that to us, man. How the Lord rubbing us down right now? They giving us that knowledge, man, that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. What you got to do?
So I get my thing real quick for me and bad point way back before, you know. For example, she washes dishes. They may not be all the way clean, but she, you know what I mean, she tried.
Yes,
But if I made it back it up, this is Proverbs 24, verse 16. For a just man falleth 7 times and rises up again.
Beautiful.
But the wicked shall fall into mischief. You gotta go.
Judgment. So what is that? That's a sincere heart, man. Hey, we all go off, man. If you truly sincere, you recognize that, and you will never disregard. It's like, yo, I'm flawed, and that's how the Lord said, display something. So now we move forward. It says a just man falleth 7 times, but he getteth up again. So he's constantly trying, man. That's King David. That was a spirit after the Most High own heart. That was a man. A spirit after a man after the Most High's own heart. No matter what he did, he didn't want to do it. And even though he did, he tried to do his damage to make up for it, man. And it wasn't on no brown nose because he understood that this is my whole duty in the first place, man. You see, it's just the order of things at this point, man. We're falling into the order of who we are. We're falling into our lots, man. It's simple. I'm not questioning this. Whatever hell Yahawashi Yahawashi got set for me. Hey, Lord, bring it. And I say that humbly. I don't say that with pride. Hell, man, the Lord, we all deserve death, man. But it's simple. The Lord is showing his mercy, and I believe in it. So I expect it like a female. Here it is, and she knows you can lay hands on her hand and feet daily, man. But, hey, it's going to get to a point in time. It's going to be some good times, okay times, some great times. And then what? She going to speak out of turn again, man. We do. Like the Lord ain't did his thing for us.
Yeah.
It is it's like, nah, I gotta spank you again, man.
And then you say, this did not help you. Yeah, man. You go to the scripture, you say, you're not crazy out of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you get a rod or a reminder of what you did for her. The Lord give us reminders, man. You know, about what he did for us and what he saved us from.
But that's the beauty of this shows you the poetry of your like we flowing through the spirit, but it shows you the poetry of Yahawashi Yahawashi, the songs that King Solomon wrote, the songs that King David wrote. It shows you the beauty Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, and how all things are likened untogether, man. How we're that beautiful bride in his eye. We got to push towards that mark, man. Despite what the hell the world may give us, man. We still got to keep holding that. We have to, quote unquote, for a lack of better effing words, man. We have to be a bride or die for Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, man. You got it?
This is the book of Isaiah 62 and verse 5. For as a young man married the virgin, so shall thy sons marry thee. And as the bridegroom rejoices over the bride, so shall thy power rejoice over thee.
Yeah, and that's the same way the Lord gonna rejoice over. It's like when you got that beautiful bride, this motherfucker that did everything right. She pure, man. Done push towards you in every regard. She imagine the dress. You know the cleansing ceremony for a bride or whatever, like with the kings. So she made 6 months, so you can damn near smell her 2 miles away from her. You know, she got on the facial gown, the last minute reveal of beauty. That's just like how Yahawashi gonna do us in the twinkling of an eye, man. You know, it says scarcely shall they be saved. That's the beautiful bride. Those ones was like at that last minute, like I finally get to lay my eyes upon my bride, my beauty, man. And that is the script of the Heavenly Father, not Yahawashi. That's the script of the Father. Like when Yahawashi come deliver us, Lord willing, we be of that number. It's gonna be, hey, he did it with quick, but it was just in time. Like how gracious is that moment, knowing like. Box gonna like it's guaranteed the box gonna be good, the lips gonna be soft, the breast gonna be tender, and you know, nourishing, she gonna smell good, she for you, she been desiring you, man. Stop, man.
Hey, you know what I mean?
You got it?
You had the prep. Everything was prep.
Yeah, it was prep.
It ain't like you got it that night. No, man, it was a whole progress before y'all actually came together, man.
Brother Cabran got brother was holding something so lot. No, you was holding. Bring that
This
to
is
me.
the book of Isaiah 62 in verse 6 and verse 5 again. For as a young man married the virgin, so shall thy sons marry thee. And as a bridegroom rejoicing over the bride, so shall thy power rejoice over thee.
Why shall our power rejoice over it? Because these are those wise virgins that kept the word of the Lamb, man. These are the ones that kept their oil burning the entire time. The moment they got the understanding of Yahawashi, they oil burned for him. Their light was for him. It was for no one else. Because why those virgins, they sitting in darkness. The light is lit because what? That's understanding. But it's manifold, man. It's what? It's a beacon for what? Your bridegroom to come unto you. Now I know why I was walking in this darkness. Because Yahawashi had a hell of a fucking journey, man. Excuse my vulgarity. He had a hell of a journey to get his bride, man. Because the end of it for the job to be complete, he had to be put on a cross, man. You see the work, the journey he had to endure to be able to get his bride. It ain't no different than Toby.
Had to go on that journey, and he had to fight demons.
Huh? You see? And what? He had, the spirit had to walk with him. It was an angel that walked with him, man. You see? But at the end of it, through him applying everything that the angel said with the woman, how to deal, how to go. Hey, Yahawashi was able to overcome, even in the flesh, the things that had plagued him prior to in the flesh. Through wisdom of the angel. What ended up happening? He retrieved his bride. And this bride, what came with death? This bride came with death. Remember that? She killed what? Seven men before him. Complete. But what? The scripture said it was destined for who? She was ordained for Toby to kill. Not Toby. It's Tobias. I'm saying Toby. Tobias, the son, man. It was bound for Tobias to kill, man.
And then what happened as soon as their congregation was happening? Did they party and booze? The first thing he did, he popped up was praying.
Huh? Why? Because this is of the Lord, man. And this is the same deal that we're this is the same consummation we're going through, man. This is a serious matter. Like this first cut, hey man, this is serious. It's just like a virgin being, hey, you don't want to give it up. We don't physically want to go through the things that we go through. We go through them because it's necessary, man. This is a part of this birth of Yahawah. This is what consummates this coming together, man. I said person life.
They do the spirit of one thing too about being the virgin. Everybody want to pop you, man. You hide the desire, man. So it's going to be things that's going to be pulling at you, and it's even going to be certain people that's going to try to force themselves upon you, man. You know, but what you do, you cry out to your husband, which ultimately is the salvation. That's why Deuteronomy 22 is so heavy, because once you go back down into the bottom verse, he said if she cry, ultimately she hoped to be saved, man. Because it ain't like we were dropped into Esau and any of these gods of Babylon. Because once he becomes a young boy, his two are called Mouses. Once you go into Mouser, that's actually an ancient demon from the Babylonian times, man. So niggas went to that country and were so invested in young boy, guess what? They got popped by Mouser. Not knowing that Yahawashi is not looking at you as desirable anymore, man. You know?
Yeah, that's right. Book of Sirach 7, verse 26, has thy wife after thy mind, forsake her not. Give not thyself over to a like woman.
As their wife after their own mind. King David, man after the Most High's own heart. You see? Are you really against these heathens? Are you really for rulership? Are you willing to go through this chattel slavery? Are you willing to go through being called a byword, a proverb? Are you really willing to go through this to be called my rib? Read that back, Bible Sham.
Sirach 7:26, hast thou a wife after thy mind? Question mark. They forsake her not.
Yeah, because she went through all of this. We went through these things, man. And what? The elect, they was ride or dies with Yahawashi. So that's a woman after that's a wife after your own heart, after your own mind. Just like King David was towards Yahawashi, man. You see? It says forsake her not. So don't forsake this woman. That's the same understanding that we have with Sophia. This truth, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Forsake her not. She wants the same things I want. Hey, I want revenge over my enemy. But I want it to be righteous. I want multiple wives, but I want it to be in order. I don't want to have to look over my shoulder. I don't want to have to pay for it. You know? Like, damn, hey man, Sophia understand me. I think I like you. Scratch that. I know I love you. So I gotta do the things to keep Sophia around. So forsake her not. Hey, so when Sophia go to acting up, this is the only problem is like, hey man, hey. She said I can't go out tonight. I ain't going out. You know what I mean? Like, you know all those stereotypical 90s sitcoms that you would watch? Or the husband being a simp to the wife, and he's sleeping on the couch for real. I never understood it. I'm like, fuck, bitch, you sleeping in the garage. You telling me to sleep on the couch, you sleep in the garage. If I don't put you in the doghouse. But nah, we like that. You're a 90s sitcom father. You a simp for Sophia, man, and we good with it. We good with it. Yahawashi built us in that way, man. Like, man, hey. Sophia, hey, I bet. Sophia called. Yeah, Sophia called. So, brother was holding in, but other than you got it up.
Yeah, Sirach 7:26. Hast thou a wife after thy mind, forsake her not. Give not thyself over to a like one.
So don't give yourself over to these other doctrines, these other philosophies, man. Yeah, these get rich quick schemes. Hey, we got brothers in Forex. It works for him, man. But it don't work for you niggas. Why? Because it's get rich quick. Before that, you was trying to be an Instagram. You was trying to be a YouTuber. You was selling bottles. You was on OL. You know, you was trying to get with your balls. You know? That was you people. It says forsake her not. So we ain't finna give ourselves into these other doctrines where it actually tells us, hey man, hey, it's gonna be salvation for the heathen. It's okay to have mercy on Esau when he the one who actually put the foot down on your neck, man. Like, nah, we ain't going out like that, man. Read that back one more time. Nah, because this wisdom is after our own mind. I actually have a vision. Why is the Lord showing us planets and stars something may not feel greater or grander to explore than what we have on the planet Earth, man. I want to understand it. You got it?
Book of Sirach, Ecclesiastes 7:26, hast thou a wife after thy mind, forsake her not. Give not thyself over to a light woman.
So I ain't gonna give myself over to these weak doctrines, because the understanding of Yahawashi is giving me his grounded. There's certain things that we abstain from, we stay away from. And because of that, that has kept us from being blown away and being tossed to and fro by every wind of doctrine. See, our minds are not wandering like these people of the world do. We good, we solid, man. It's for us to not to chip away. Why trimmest thou thy way? You lightening yourself. Little by little, you giving up your weight that has kept you solid this whole time. Which was this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahawashi. Brother can bring up what they had.
I got some real quick on the word faithful. This the word faithful. It says remaining loyal and steadfast. It says not engaging in sexual relations with a person or another person's spousal partner in ordinance of a previous promise or understanding. Then here it goes right here, those who are faithful to a particular religion. But number one and number two is the main point. To remain faithful is basically to remain steadfast, being grounded throughout the situations around you. Because again, this thing, like when your woman go out by herself, this nigga's trying to talk to her. Gas station love. You know, she goes to the gas station, it's niggas trying to talk to her. Real talk. Because they don't know she got a man, because she got by herself. You see what I'm saying? So guess what? Ultimately, in the midst of our Lord not being here, we are faithful. That's why the Lord said, you be faithful in my presence. How much more in my absence, man? Because that's how I know you really with me. You see what I'm saying? Good job, brother.
I got one for you. This is Albert. This is Sirach, Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 20. It says,
Be steadfast in thy covenant, and be conversant therein, and wax old in thy work.
so that's just the same as you making a marriage vow, right? One to a man. The same covenant that we made with Yahawashi, the same covenant that we came back into. And it's true. For us to be standing up, because man, we came back into that covenant. So we've taken back up that same vow yet again.
It says, be steadfast in thy covenant.
So certain brothers get married at different ages, different time and seasons and reasons. You know?
At the end of the day,
Hey, you still made that vow, man.
it matters not. It says, and be conversant therein.
So we must be conversing is how do we make this relationship better? You know how Esau tried to make the professionalism of the relationship and try to show the inner works of the relationship. You actually got to be like that in the truth to it. You got to let this thing flow. But sometimes you got to sit back and you got to question certain things, and you got to rationalize this thing out, like move about with reason and understanding. Because Yahawashi, causation for everything that he bring us into is to what? To get understanding. And what? That we may give understanding unto the listeners, to these lessons.
right? It says, be conversant therein and wax old in thy work.
So, as we came into this work, we're supposed to what? We're supposed to stay steadfast. We're supposed to be grounded. We're supposed to become more rooted. That's where you get the word tap. You know? Have a brother pull that real quick. Just look up tap and give us the understanding, because really, when you get into a tap root, that's the OG root. You see, the Lord is building the OG root in us, and He says wax old. So be prepared to stay here, like a tree. Where He finna pick up roots and go to? Nah, you've been planting here. Hey, make the best of it. Make the best of this situation. I'm gonna give you a particular level of sunlight. I'm gonna give you a particular level of water. Hey, work with it. You got it?
For the simple Google definition for the word taproot, a straight tapering root going vertically downward and forming the center from which a subsidiary rootlets spring.
Yeah, so that's the main root. Hey, it spreads out. That's the very main root that it grows branches. That's basically like the grounding or the anchor of a tree. Any root of a plant is that great tap root, man.
And when you got a great tap room, hey man, this thing, a great tap room, it can start right here and it can end 3, 4, 4 or 5 blocks from here. Because that's the strength of the branch off, but it starts with a great tap room. This is what the Lord is saying, wax old in. Some go down, some go out. But at the end of the day, we're becoming more grounded in the spirit, man. Just to speak to the nature of trees. Because the spirit of Yahawashi shines upon all things, man. We can learn from all of these things, man. Jake would see it as somewhat as mundane, but the Lord told us to wax old. So we're supposed to be as the trees planted in Lebanon. Those are the greatest trees that you can use for house fixtures, right? Do you think not that it has a great tap room?
Yeah. Colossians 2:6. As you have therefore received Hamashiach Yahawashi, the Lord, so walk ye in him, rooted and built up in him, established in faith. As you have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving.
It says abounding therein, man. So you got to be deep in this understanding. I ran across a Jake, and I remember Jake called the name of Yahawashi evil at one point. Now he calling him, and I know he's just doing it through follow. You know, like he's about everywhere the doctrine. He's not deeply rooted, as the scriptures tell us to be. Because when you become deeply rooted, just a part of the rudiment of what it is to be in this truth, you research. That's what our apostles and elders teach us through the spirit of Yahawashi. How do we know that? Because the scripture says, study to show thyself approved, right? That what? That you should be what? That you should not be ashamed of your work. And it's time to check it. Hey, you know what you're talking about. I ain't gotta call this brother. I may not even have the scripture, but the Lord will have me bring up another scripture and break down the same point. Why? Because we're actually deeply rooted, man. That's how you have to be in this truth. And that's no knock to us, the water to the spirit of Yahawashi, man, that he's bestowed upon us, man. That's what this thing is about. It's being established sincerely in Yahawashi. It's certain things that I had no care for. History. I loved history. Certain little secular history I wasn't for. But to be deeply rooted in it, you gotta venture over there, man. So your tap, you gotta venture out. What it creates a more solid base. It's one thing for it to be deeply rooted in it just straight out, but the strength comes when it branches out. Those are the trade and the talents, man. Becoming uncomfortable. You know? That's what this thing is about, and the Lord is causing it, man. But it becomes disruptive to unnatural what's the lack of better words? It's like native species, man. Species that are native to the environment. Like this is really a spiritual terrain, man. So you being a carnal-minded individual is like now truth is springing forth, man. Like we're finna it's finna be a lot of bumps in the roads, man. It's going to be a lot of sinkholes. Why? Because nature is taking its course, man. Now bring that back out, Baba Bashar.
Colossians 2:7 says, verse 6 again. As you have therefore received Hamashiach Yahawashi the Lord, so walk ye in him, rooted and built up in him, established in the faith, as you have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving.
With thanksgiving, being appreciative of it, man. Not being, damn, it's hot out here. I ain't never see a tree cry. I ain't never see a tree scream. So it dealt with the sun. It says what?
Yep, it says, rooted and built up in him, established in the faith, as you have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving.
With thanksgiving, man. So no matter what, it says be instant in season, out of season, being apt to teach and give the understanding of Yahawashi. That's what this takes. That's what it takes, man. Brother had something? Oh, you got it.
It says, as you have been taught, it shows you that you can't get this on your own. But you got a lot of things who come into this Israelite thing and try to seek it out for themselves, man. And the scripture outlines that you can't receive these prophecies, no private interpretation for man alone, you know, but you got to be taught by the ones who are set up. They go to our apostle and elders, man. That's the pecking order that the Lord Yahawashi set up. All right, so following that order, that doctrine that comes from them,
That's what creates that deep root. You know, root the spirit out to keep you stable. All right, because they come with the correct doctrine of Yahawashi and Rawchaa, man.
Yeah, because it's like one thing I've learned about old farmers, man. The oldest, simplest tricks that they learned in the beginning, it fares you well, man. You know, it's like being out on the farm. It's like, hey, man, you don't want to hit that with that shovel. You probably want to get a hoe for it. And you think, yeah, I'm gonna go in here with a shovel. And then you find out real quick, like, yeah, this ain't the soil for a shovel. This is the soil for a hoe. And now here it is, you two hours in, you on your feet. You on the feet in the ground. But if you focus. It's those simple understandings of this individual he begot this. He knows better than you. He began the ground before you did. Right? All of this understanding, this wisdom that we have today is built by individuals that had a greater curiosity than what we had. Yeah, we got greater questions because he asked the more simple questions before us. Right? So yeah, they become more complex, but it just shows the spirit of humility and order, man. Read that back one more time and we'll bring that out.
Colossians 2:7, rooted and built up in them, established in faith, as you have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. It says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy, vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not of the Mashiach.
And that's what we got. Just with this Christianity spirit is so heavy that everybody is PC to a degree. Even us, man. And we gotta play it because we understand that we're up under the serpent. But you got people that's playing PC, and it's simply due to the benefit of gaining a bag, man. Every time I hear that precept, I think of Alizé, man. That's what happens when you compromise the way of Yahawashi. Yahawashi, read that very end.
It says, verse 8, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy, vain deceit.
Yeah, vain deceit. You pulling shit out of your own heart based off your feelings, man. Through philosophy. Yeah, this philosophy sounds great because you got a curious heart, you got a curious mind. The earth is flat. Now you out of the truth, idiot. But then you got another Jake over here. Well, they came with the Eve gene, and it does say this and it going to that. Nigga, the scriptures tell you science falsely so-called, so you not deeply rooted. There you go to another philosophy, man. The scriptures tell you that going into it, roughly paraphrasing, a whore is a deep ditch, a wicked woman is a wide pit, is a pit, something to that degree, man. That's what these philosophies are, man. It always appeals to your physical and psychological nature, man. That's why I don't get into certain shit. I'm like, man, that's a hell of a question right there. I click. I go to the next one. Why? Brothers ain't brought it to me, neither have the apostle elder spoke to it, for me to get a spiritual understanding or a spiritual inclination towards it. That's why they give you certain movies or whatever, and it says what? Parental guidance. And they give you a rating. There's certain things, even as a man, at this age that I am, there's certain things that I just can't get into, man. But I know one thing you people can't get into, and this is X-rated, man. It's rated R triple X, man. It's the scriptures. You see? It's levels to understanding, man. And we got the greats. And then there's levels even to understanding this. But you got it, you can finish it off.
It says, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach.
Yeah, so it's that after the traditions of men and the rudiments of the world. So the traditions of men, they vary and they change, but the ultimate rudiment of the world that they want to push is the spirits are forgiven, and that you should be nice unto everyone. That you should love everyone, despite there being evil done in the world. There's no balance. Love will conquer all. Nah, man. A way to beat a fire is to have a bigger fire, man. That's why you got a thing called fire lines, man. Like the way that we see balance, it really ain't the same way in the sight of the Lord. Yeah, we see fire and water, but the Lord got a greater balance than that. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. But these are the greater hopes and the understandings that we got. That was it on that. You can bring up what you had, sir.
I got some put you in the bag, how we can understand these different doctrines and not to go into certain things, because brothers know not to eat pork. You know what I'm saying? This is the book of Job 34, and I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, for the ear tried word, as the mouth tasted meat. So you can tell if it's off or not by the doctrine. Like you said, somebody say a wonderful question. You're like, oh, that look good. The ultimate less pork, and I can't get into it, man. And same thing with these different philosophies, because niggas want to search out the universe. I heard a nigga talk some Venus, she was pregnant in Mars. That's as soon as you hear shit like that, you like, that food nasty, man. Because why? It ain't come from Yahawah, shouldn't have a shot, man. You know? Yeah.
That's why the scriptures tell you avoid
Foolish questions and his genealogy.
Old Jewish fables, you know? Why? Because it only leads to more questions, it only leads to more bizarre and bugged out imagination. And there's no end of the imagination of the wicked. You see, that's why the Lord got to bring forth this judgment.
And that's why you gotta really be thankful that you have your antennas up there diagnostic. Because some people, they can hear the flat earth and they'll be ecstatic about it, like they got some new information. Yo, this heavy, this deep. Yeah, and they'll eat that shit up, and 6 months later they'll die, man. You know, so why do you have our Sham bring us in the right doctrine, man? Yeah.
Well, the Ecclesiastes or Sirach 19 and verse 29, and man may be known by his look, and one that have understanding by his countenance, without meeting.
It says a man may be known by his look. And what is his look? His conversation. All of us look different. But how do I truly understand you and understand like what type of person is? I can look at this dude and say he's a warrior. I can say this dude is priest. I can say this dude is king. I can say this dude is a son. This dude is a barbarian. You know? How? I understand it through his speech, through the way he carries himself. You know, the intangibles. And these are all the understandings of the spirit. Yahawah Yahawashi is giving us the angel. Because you got packs of weirdos. And he didn't run into this weirdo like, this nigga's weird. You know? He was like, home. It's like, I'm drawn to this guy. You know? But yo, the Lord has given us the spirit of understanding, man. That we're the truth. We have true discernment in these times, man. Even Donald Trump really can't kick it. Donald Trump couldn't kick it with us, man. Donald Trump would have you people. If Donald Trump was to say, yo, those guys are lame, they're bugged out, and you would agree with him or even give a inkling of thought towards that, we already know we could judge by your countenance what type of individual we are from what type of life we lead. Right? Because at this point, a man of understanding, we don't show high regard to individuals that are of celebrity status. This ain't that time. We're light years ahead of you. Put it this way, we've been light years ahead of you people. But now we're just months ahead of you people. Because now the famine is coming up. A brother pulled that, well, they should not regard the kings nor princes. Because we're already at that point, right? We're already at the point that, hey, what Donald Trump has to say about us, or where he says that America should go, we know that that's not to be believed. When will you people catch up to it, right? You'll catch up to it when all hell breaks loose, and it's no answers for you.
And then my scripture said, in the day of thy power, thy people shall be winners. Because Jake being a hard-headed people, a hard-headed nation in general, they're not going to be able to grasp the power of the Most High until all hell breaks loose, man. You know?
They're waiting for Esau to give them that panic button. He's not going to come on the screen and say, hey, now this is a special news bulletin, United States of America. Now is the time to panic. Nah, man, you people going to be caught in the snare. You're going to be snared, man.
But that's how you know these niggas are sheep. They're sheep. Okay. They got to be told what to do. If Esau, Yahawashi coming back today, you know how many people believe in Yahawah? If they had a news article about Yahawashi on CNN, you know how many people they'll start believing and trusting in Yahawashi? You know, because our people, especially Israel, they're meant to be led. Ultimately. But they're being led by wicked power here in this lifetime. That's why niggas like NBA, Youngboy, Shaq, that nigga Gilbert Arenas, all these motherfuckers set up and lead our people astray. You know, but it's only a few remnant, and 1/3 that's really falling out from the righteous, man. You know, because even what Apostle Paul said, be followers of me as I am of Yahawashi.
You got to be that Jake stuck in traffic. You know, I was in Atlanta. You gotta be that Jake stuck in that LA, Atlanta traffic, you know, New York traffic. Hey, you gotta be that Jake that's willing to take that ticket at this point, man. Hey man, I gotta get off this road, man. It leads nowhere. I ain't making no moves. I'm on a fast track to nowhere. You gotta get off the road. Hey, hey, maybe it's a cop on him, maybe it's not. But either way, to me, at this point, it's worth it. Because, hey, progress, he ain't finna tell me, hey, go back there. No, I made progress, man. You can let me go forward.
Yeah. And then you go to court and let that shit off.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yes,
Kind of got some funny. This is Ecclesiastes or Sirach, chapter 5, starting at verse 5 through 7. Verse 5, concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin. Yeah, you know, basically going and repenting. You know, don't continue to, add up iniquity upon iniquity. You know, it's time to turn back to the Lord because the days draw nigh that we ain't gonna find no pleasure in it, man. You know, verse 6 it says, and say not, his mercy is great. He will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation rested upon sinners. And if I may, don't think that the Lord is just this, all God is all love. You can do whatever you want to do. You love, love the sinner and hated sin. No, the Lord hated the sinner because you're going against his will. So don't think you can continue to do what you're going to do, and as long as you believe in Jesus Christ, you're going to be all right. No, it says his indignation rests upon sinners. Indignation goes in a righteous anger, man, which means he's going to judge you for what you do that against his will. But it says, make no terror to turn to the Lord and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
Yeah, and that's what's going on now. These people are looking for security. So with this November coming up, hey, these people are probably going to be put in a state of fear, maybe even for the month of December. But come January, they probably cut everything back on for these people. These people think they be in a good place, but then shall the judgment of Yahawashi come upon these people. And thus saith Yahawashi, you people will warn. But with that, Lord willing, this was an edifying camp. We want to end off by giving all glory and praises unto
Yahawah, Yahawashi, Qadash.
Apostles and elders, a great millstone to teach you well. Until next time, shalom.
Shalom.
Tonight.
Peace. And blessing.
Welcome to the